Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late May, moving into early June 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in energy and see what's happening for the lovely Taurus collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guides and spirit team, what do we got for my Taurus friends? What energies, insights, clarity, all that good stuff. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Taurus. Your birthday season has just passed, my good friend, so I hope you had a good one. Well, let's see what we have for you this week, please, my guides. Talk to me. What energies and insight for my friends? There we go. Nice and quick. Okay, so there's a lot of imagination. There's a lot of mental action going on here. And I feel like this is something that's been speckled through your readings for a little bit of time now when I see this starting to show up. Now, it's not necessarily a rough card, and I feel like I've seen it for you in the recent past. It could be very good for creative pursuits or endeavors. But before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the May subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little bit about this card. So I always mention it. We have these little clown ballerinas here, if you look at the image. And one is down here. She's having a little nap, taking a little snooze. The one up here is walking on a tightrope. So to me, this is kind of like a future-focused type of energy, where this one is daydreaming and imagining about doing that. So for a lot of Tauruses, your head could be in that place where it's like, okay, how am I going to handle this? What am I going to do? It's kind of like placed in the future. You might just be daydreaming a little more than normal. You could be having really vivid, interesting dreams as well whenever this card is in the mix. And I always say that to me, this is like a really good energy for creativity. Now, I have lots of water sign placements. I vibe with this energy quite a bit, to be honest with you. And nothing's wrong with daydreaming and being in your head a little bit. Sometimes it's okay to do, as long as you don't get stuck there, and as long as like you could pull that energy out of the etheric into the material. So for any of you, if you are getting that creative bug or you have a lot of good ideas, maybe try to write them down or at least bring them forth. Like any creative pursuit is highly prosperous, or it looks good for any Taurus in this time. So we're just going to put that down right there, whether it's for fun or business. Let's see what tarot has for you. And I always say this first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for my Taurus friends, please. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading, my friends. It was titled The End of a Chapter. And with what I've been seeing in recent weeks, it felt like something was building up for a lot of Tauruses. So, I mean, a lot of you could be experiencing a lot of change and a lot of chapters closing. But the big thing it felt like to me is there wasn't tons of hurt feelings about it. There was like acceptance attached to it. So for a lot of you, there's a big metamorphosis happening within your life. Okay, let's see what we have for you this week, though. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going. 3 cards for Taurus, please. What do we got here? Late May, early June. Pardon me. So we have the 2 of Cups in position number 1. Interpersonal connections. We could also be looking at the energy of somebody you're connected to. This doesn't have to be yours. Okay. So we might be getting a very specific message about someone you care about or are connected to. Let's get 2 more. Let's see what's happening here. What do we got for my friends? I mean, it's a good card. I like the 2 of Cups. I usually say it's very silky smooth, easy flowing. Okay, we have the 10 of Wands here in the center. That is something we are going to need to really keep an eye on as we move throughout this reading. Very important to take care of yourself in this time. Okay, let's get 1 more. Okay. Fool card. Okay. So there is like a happy energy attached to this as well. And interestingly, we still have this cyclical type of energy showing up too. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first glance, I look down here. Elementally, we have a lot of fire, like with the 10 of Wands and the Fool card. That's Aries energy. So these are very fired up types of vibes. We have the water too. So there's a lot of like inner passion and inner emotion that's really coming into play for this week's energy. Fire, of course, it could represent action as well. But the way the energy flows, like from the Two of Cups, then we have this burdensome energy, then to the Fool. It's like it gets better, it improves. So I'm pretty excited to see how this one shapes out. I feel like it's going to be nuanced. So let's go through each one and we'll really build this out before we get into the clarifying. Now, position number one, we have the Two of Cups. You see these individuals, they're sharing, right? Sharing is caring. And as with all twos, it could represent decisions, choices, partnerships, being at a crossroads. I already mentioned last week, and even the week before that, we saw like chapters coming to a close and stuff like that. But I feel like the Two of Cups is silky smooth type of energy. It could represent soul ties. It could represent soul connection. So when we clarify this, it might show us somebody that you have a really strong bond with, or something that they might be going through, or a way that they might be feeling very, very close emotional connection when this card is here. Could be any partnership. Remember, it's not just lovers, it's not just romance. It could also be really good friends or even family members that will want to take a look at. Now, I always mention every card has a positive and a challenge. So with all that good stuff I was just saying about the Two of Cups, the challenge of it could be the exact opposite. Like sometimes this card could come up when we're having issues with somebody that we care deeply for, or issues with someone that cares deeply for us. Usually it goes both ways. Sometimes it doesn't though, right? Let's keep pressing forward though. Now, position number two, we do have the Ten of Wands. This is a good energy in the end results, right? Because this card, in its positive sense, it could be determination. It could be someone that's going to keep pushing, regardless of how tough something is, or regardless of how much weight they're carrying, they're going to keep going. They are not going to stop. That is very Taurus-like vibes, right? Everyone says Taurus energy is usually very dependable. Like once they commit to something, they're going to push forward and push through. So this could be nice for that. However, there's a lot of warnings that could be attached to this card as well. Your energy, you might feel a little zapped, you might feel a little drained, you might want to sleep a little more than you normally are when this card is here. It's heavy. So there, whether it's a physical heaviness, a mental heaviness, emotional heaviness, when we see this card, it's a little burdened. Okay, so you might need to recharge the batteries whenever this card shows up. I say specifically for your physical health, you might want to focus on that in this time, like getting yourself like right physically. I say especially with areas like the neck, back, and spine. So for some of you, if you've been feeling tense, you might need to get a little massage or a rub down when this card's in the mix. Not a bad energy completely though, because there is a lot of determination like I mentioned. So we'll want to see what that is. This could represent a situation, it could represent a problem sometimes. So we'll see what that's all about. Now, getting to the very back end, we have the Fool card, Aries energy. That is your zodiacal neighbor, right? That's the season right before Taurus. So some of you might be on that cusp. When I see the Fool card, it's the protagonist of the tarot deck. This is the hero of the tarot deck. It starts the journey. So when we see this, remember, tens in tarot can represent the close of something. The Fool represents a beginning, a new journey, a new venture. So the way the energy is flowing, there could be a nice new venture coming up for you. Okay, in one form or another, whether it is in relations or something else. We'll just really need to look into it further. Now, the Fool is very optimistic. It's happy-go-lucky. It's jovial. It's lighthearted. So when we go from this heavy energy into the lighthearted energy, it's very good. But the challenge that comes with this Fool, if you're not connected to an Aries, this card can be very spontaneous. Okay, like notice it's always about to walk off a cliff. So this could be a warning from spirit saying like, hey, don't do anything too spontaneous, or it could just be warning you about something, especially with fire element, because that's one thing with fire is that it could be very unpredictable. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Taurus. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my friends, please. Guides and spirit team. What do we got for Taurus here? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Two of Cups. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Taurus, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's see. What do we got with that Two of Cups? Thank you. Yeah, someone wants to get a message through to you. Someone wants to talk to you or communicate with you in a very, very strong way. We have the Page of Pentacles. That's a card that could represent you if you're a Taurus and not a cross watcher. And I always mention, when it comes to all pages, they represent communication, but also learning new things. In the sense of what we're picking up here, there is some importance around communication. So you might need to hear that somebody is trying to get a message through to you, or they're trying to communicate with you in one way or another. And you could feel it like tugging at your energy. Like, even if you're not talking to this person right now, or you can't talk to them for whatever reason, you might feel their energy tugging at yours. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, the Page of Pentacles is very good. And I feel for a lot of you, this is really revolving around communication. So if there is something you're going through with someone you really do care deeply for, it's very important to keep that open, honest communication. You could be honest and not be hurtful, right? And I do feel for some of you, yeah, this could be an important talk or a serious talk. Absolutely. But we'll see how it all plays out. I want to see what the result is. If there's something you're feeling, if there's something you're going through, you might just need to talk to somebody about it. You might need to vent as well. So pretty much all this stuff we have here on the front end is either someone wanting to talk to you or trying to, and you feel it tugging at your energy, or it's communication and the importance of it in general. So I do feel for a lot of you, whether this is the former or latter, I feel like there could be serious or important talks coming up for you in the coming weeks. We're going to keep moving forward, though. We're not going to get hung up there. It is what it is. Another thing, when I see the Two of Cups with a card that could represent you, remember, it's not gender specific. There could be somebody that really looks at you in a positive light, very positive light. Okay, that's another vibe I'm picking up. It's like, oh, this person really likes you. This person really looks at you in a positive light. So it looks good to me. Let's keep moving over to that Ten of Wands. I would say at the very least, this is something that starts well. So let's keep moving. What's that Ten of Wands here? Yeah, very important to pace yourself with life in general. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is in reverse for a lot of you. Yeah, there could be something surrounding money or finances that you might want to keep an eye on. Obviously, we're not really going to hone in on that for a small portion of Tauruses out there. There could be issues with work, or you might need to keep yourself busy as well. So take that for whatever it's worth. Now, whenever I see the Eight of Pentacles, you see this person, they're working hard, right? They're very detail oriented. They're banging out all these pentacles. They're creating things. So this could represent the career that you have, the business that you have, things that you want to create, things that you want to put your energy into. If you're not having issues with work, or if you hate your current job, that could be it right here in the center too. But another thing I want to say with the 10 Wands and the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Okay? That's like a big energy. Like, you cannot put energy forth. You can't finish a task if you don't have those energetic reserves. So you really need to take care of yourself. Okay. Because I feel like someone's energy is like, and it doesn't necessarily mean that like you've been going wild or anything like that. I just feel like the energy has drained over time and you just need to reboot the system. We're going to keep moving. So I feel like it's very simple. Once again, for some of you, like, you need to rest and relax in one way or another. There could be something that's been very taxing and you don't have a lot of energy to give to it anymore. For another portion of you, it could be money issues or really disliking what you do for a job. You need to keep yourself busy in some other way as well. So lots of messages. Let's keep moving. Only take what hits for you. I know that was like 4 or 5 different things, but let's see what the Fool has to say. Cannot pour from an empty cup. I feel like that's like the most important one. So let's see what that Fool has, please. Thank you. Temperance, good. All right, all in due time. All in due time, something good's coming in. For a lot of you, this could be a very strong spiritual connection, or someone watching over you from the spirit side. We have Temperance with the Archangel Michael, the guardian angel right there. It's absolutely beautiful in the energy we're picking up. Now, I will say this back corner here is all fire. Where the Fool, it's like, let's go, let's go, let's go. The Temperance card is like, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. So I feel for a lot of Tauruses in this time, now is a great time to slow it down. Whatever it is to you, whether it's life in general, whether it's aspirations, you might need a vacation for some of you, but I feel like slowing it down, all in due time or all in good time, something is going to mellow out and get better with Temperance. Okay, so if you're not connected to Sagittarius here, just know You are spiritually protected moving into this next cycle of life. This is your guides, your spirit team, your angels looking over you. So watch for the signs and synchronicities for sure when I see this underneath the Fool card, because it's like spirit's trying to let you know, like, hey, we're watching over you. You're okay. Everything is okay. It's like giving me that vibe. And there is no rush. That's another message some of you need to hear. There's no rush in regards to something. So this is an intriguing way all this energy is coming through, Taurus, because it's like each one of these has a lot more messages than they normally do. Let's go through and do a quick recap. I will say the end result of this is very, very positive with what I'm feeling back there. Whatever cycle you're moving into, there's a lot of protection around you. But position number one, we have the Two of Cups with the Page of Pentacles in the upright. Someone wants to talk to you, okay? Whether you're speaking with them or not, you might feel them tugging at your energy. I do feel for a lot of you there can be an important talk coming up, or a serious one when this is here, but not in a bad way. Emotional expression and clear, concise communication is very, very important when we have this all here. Moving to the center, we have the 10 of Wands with the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Some of you might be fed up to here with a work situation or even a money situation. It's like, yeah, I'm over that. It's like giving me that kind of vibe as well. I feel for a lot of you, you really need to recharge your batteries. Like, I feel like over time, the batteries on something have drained out a little bit, and it's okay to rest and refresh yourself. I do feel that big message I said, you can't pour from an empty glass, is very important for one reason or another. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself, okay? Moving to the back end, we have the Fool card with Temperance, beautiful spiritual protection around you. Watch for the signs, synchronicities, and omens in this time. Know that your guides and your team are with you. But all in due time, something beautiful is coming in for you. It feels really good. Whatever change you're moving into, whatever cycle you're moving into, there's a lot of protection around you to help see you through a very specific journey. So please take a screenshot of that, Taurus. Beautiful reading overall. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Taurus, please, my guide spirit team. What do we got from my dear friends? Early June. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a really good thing too. So let's get you one. And if you've made it to this point in reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. I really do. Okay, shadow time. What do we got for my dear friends here? God, spirit team. Thank you. Okay, Magician. Very spiritual again. There's like this really strong spiritual energy that's just been coming through a big portion of this reading for you. Lots of undertones. Now, the Magician is all about manifesting and creating. So just know whether you're purposely trying to manifest something or whether you're subconsciously doing it, just know that you're pulling things towards you in a very magnetic way when this card shows up. Now, what is a shadow side of the Magician? Aside from creating something or hearing that something you're manifesting is right around the corner when this is in the shadows, the Magician represents control. Okay, so whether this is a situation you've been dealing with where it's kind of out of your hands, or there's something about it you can't quite control. When the Magician is in the shadows, it's Spirit really asking us to remember that we're always going to go through certain things, certain trials, happenings in life that are out of our hands. There's certain things that we can control, whether we want to or whether we don't. And it's important to remember that. Also, watch out for any issues with authority figures or anyone that's a little overly controlling. And this time, that's only for some of you. But yeah, interesting little mixture we have there, because we have like the good, the rough, the in-between with that shadow card. So take it for what it's worth, Taurus. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the May subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a one-on-one personal reading with me, you could check out my digital calendar at mastermetaphysics.com. But for the May subscriber surprise, we're doing a winner's choice this month, my friends. 2 lucky subscribers will get their choice of either the Everyday Witches Tarot, which is a wonderful deck. It's one of my favorites. Or you can choose a crystal pendant of your choice from my website. They're homemade. The energy is luscious. They're beautiful. So it's winner's choice there. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments where in the world you are from. You don't have to give me your home address or anything like that. It could be your country, state, province, whatever it might be. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. And I'll see you again soon.